Hello, my dear student friends. In our last session, we have discussed about the basic terms of accounting. So, in this session, I will continue the same concept. Let us discuss few terms which we frequently use in the accountancy. So, the first term of this session is solvent. There are two important words in accountancy: solvency and insolvency. If the business is capable to pay the liabilities, then such situation is called as solvency. And if it is not capable to pay the liabilities, then such situation is called as insolvency. So, coming to the words solvent and insolvent, here solvent, it means solvent is a person whose assets are equal to or more than that of his liabilities. If the assets are equal to the liabilities or the assets are more than the liabilities, then such situation is called as solvency. The owner of the business who is having the solvency is called as solvent. Let us take the example. Suppose a trader, he is having the assets worth rupees 5 lakhs and his liabilities are of rupees 2 lakhs. Here we can notice assets are more than his liabilities. So he is capable to pay his debts in full. So such trader is termed as solvent trader. The second term is insolvent. Insolvent means he is a person whose assets are not sufficient to make payment of his liabilities in full. It means the situation where the assets are less and the liabilities are more, such situation is called as insolvency. The owner of the business who is having insolvency, he is called as insolvent. Suppose a trader whose assets are of rupees 5 lakhs and the liabilities are of rupees 7 lakhs. Here, the assets are less and the liabilities are more. In this situation, the owner of the business or that trader, he cannot pay the liabilities in full. I mean, he is not capable to pay the debts in full. So such situation is called as insolvency and the person is called as insolvent. Coming to the next important term of the accountancy, purchases return. It means the goods which were purchased are now returned back to the suppliers. So it is also called as return outwards. We all know about the purchases. Goods come in, they are called as purchases. So the goods which were purchased, if they are returned back to the suppliers, then they are called as purchases return. They are also called as return outwards. It may be because of bad packing, poor quality, or overchanging in the invoices, damages. Because of all these reasons, sometimes the customers will return the goods to the suppliers. Such returned goods are called as purchases returns. They are also called as return outwards. Coming to the example, Ram purchased goods worth rupees 1000 from Sham and returned goods worth rupees 200 to Sham. Here the Ram is purchaser and Sham he is supplier. The goods which are returned back to Sham, that is rupees 200, they are called as purchases return. Then exactly opposite of this purchases return it is sales return. Coming to the meaning, it means the goods which were sold to customers are now returned for some reasons, as the reasons which they are stated above. Because of those reasons, if the customer returns the goods, then they are called as sales return. It is also termed as return inwards. Suppose A sold goods to B worth rupees 2000, and due to the poor quality, B returned goods worth rupees 500 to A. Then in this case, it is sales return to A. The goods worth rupees 500 which were returned to A, they are sales return to A. So we all know about the goods. We will sell it, and there will be remaining some goods which are unsold at any given date. So they are called as stock. Stock is the value of unsold goods at any given date. The business may be having stock at the beginning as well as at the end of the year. There are two types: opening stock and closing stock. Opening stock is the stock which the business will be having at the beginning of the year. Closing stock, it is the stock which the business will be having at the end of the year. So this is all about the stock. And we will frequently use another word in accountancy, that is accounting year. It means generally a period of 12 months during which the accounts are maintained. It may be the calendar year or from April to March. The accounts of year are kept in a single set of books. An accounting year may be a calendar year, that is from January 1st to December 31st, or another type of year is there, that is financial year, from 1st April to succeeding to 31st March. The working results, profit or loss of the business are ascertained after the close of every accounting year. So we can consider the examples, that is 1st April to 2019 to 31st March 2020, or in some other cases January 1st 2020 to December 31st 2020. In general, we can tell it as a period of 12 months during which the accounts are maintained. And in the same accounting year, we will ascertain the results of the business. Whether we have got the profit or loss. So all these are few important basic terms which we will use frequently in the accountancy. Still many are there. Let us learn about all those terms in our next session. This concept will be continued. Thank you.